Hello, comments. This will be the last week we do comments from inside my flat. From now on, we'll be doing it in the nuclear bunker that's currently being constructed, just having it padded out at the moment. Just popped to IKEA, actually. You'd be surprised. They've got some pretty good, useful stuff, bit of padding, got some pictures for the lonely days of the nuclear winter. I mean, you've got to laugh, haven't you, at a time like this? Got to make light of this situation, otherwise you might as well just... Thomas Rushton. Hello, Thomas. Well, we're all fucked now, aren't we? Sometimes, Thomas, the most to-the-point, direct comments are often, I suppose, the most accurate. I mean, you know, we are... I mean, it depends what you mean by fucked, really, doesn't it? It's a bad situation, if that's what you mean. It's not ideal, is it? You know, as a general rule, is a sociopathic, racist, misogynist with authoritarian tendencies becoming the most powerful man on earth, is that an ideal thing to happen? No, almost certainly not. So, you know, if I had to choose, that wouldn't have happened. But we've got to do the best we can now, not to accept it, I'm not accepting it, but to organise and stand up against the problems that caused it. But, yeah, it's a mess. Simpson Henry, hello. I would rather listen to Keir next time. If you're going to belittle me using my own cat, at least spell his name right, because it isn't K-I-R. I mean, that sounds like some sort of detergent. Just going to put some Keir down the sink. Keir is actually spelled K-E-I-R, because over there, don't know if you can see it, not sure if it's in view, but Keir Hardie, the First Leader of the Labour Party, is proudly on my wall. Mitjitsu, OJ, hi, bit over-familiar, but I'll go with it. Don't lecture us on tolerance, when your type isn't even tolerant to difference of opinion. You're now going to be arrested because I've sent my secret agents of my secret service to incarcerate you for a different opinion. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just responding to you in a slightly sarky way, admittedly. I've interviewed lots of people on this channel, as everybody knows, with wildly different opinions to me. I think I was very attentive in listening to them, exploring their views, and it harangued them. I just listened and, you know, tried to work out what they thought. You know, whether it be Peter Hitchens, check out the video. It's the most popular one still. People loved him. Jacob Rees-Mogg, there's another one. Very different. Douglas Carswell. I mean, I could go on. I've interviewed a lot of people with very different politics to my own because I like listening to different opinions. Now, obviously, when it comes to the tidal wave of right-wing populism sweeping the rest of the world, I'm not happy with it, obviously, and I'm using my freedom of expression to argue against it. That's how democracy works. Some people think that democracy means if one side wins, everybody else has to shut up. That's it. They won the election. I mean, even though Donald Trump lost the popular vote, that's the nature of the US electoral system, but it doesn't work like that, does it? Because you've got to have an opposition to whoever's in charge, otherwise you don't have a democracy anymore. It's just an elected dictatorship. Dominic Boyd, hello. Don't forget to clean the filter on that vacuum. I left mine too long and the vacuum's not working. Oh, wow. That's a really, really good point, seriously, because I struggle a bit with that vacuum cleaner. I don't know if you can see it, but it's one of these like modern Dyson ones. I'm not doing an advert for Dyson. The Green Bike Rider. All the key buzzwords in there, Owen. Hitler, Stalin, homophobe, racist, etc., etc. Yawn. Start offering solutions. I'm always talking about solutions, hope, and what that means in practice. A coherent alternative. I've often scrutinised the left. Look, I spent the entire summer being burned alive, not literally, admittedly, online for suggesting the left needed a new strategy. I did a big blog go into great detail about what needed to happen. So I do try and focus on alternatives, but I'm still going to critique the opposition, so tough. Katie is better than you. Well, a little bit presumptuous there, Katie, but I'll take your word for it. Owen, could you maybe do an It Gets Better video? Could really do with some help right now. Kiss. Do you mean... I don't know what you mean, Katie. Do you mean a video on coming out? Maybe you do mean that. I don't know. Because normally It Gets Better is to do with videos where, you know, it gets better. That is, when you first come out, it feels like, or before you come out, you're like, it's a nightmare. I'm going to get judged and hated and my life's going to collapse. And people have different coming out stories. I've already bored you with my one on this video. But it does get better if you come out. It's just a factual reality for the vast majority of LGBT people. And you know, if your friends aren't supportive, ditch them, not friends. Lots of other friends, you know, there's an LGBT community there. If it's about politics, it gets better. Yeah, I will do that. Maybe I'll end the year with that. About, it has been a long, arduous year. It's been a bit, But, yeah, things will get better if we organise and sort it out. I mean, it will be a bit more eloquent than that, hopefully. SV93, hello. What lefty lovey? You didn't even bring up Gary Lineker. I can now, can't I? Because you just brought him up. I am a big fan of Gary Lineker. He seems like a lovely bloke. But also is somebody who was willing to stick his neck out, get a lot of stick, and he is getting a lot of stick, for basically just saying that, you know, when people flee violence, war, dictatorship, persecution, that maybe we shouldn't demonise them, and maybe we should offer more humanitarian support than we're currently doing. And that makes him some rampant, you know, lefty enemy of the people, probably. And he's getting a lot of stick, a lot of bile for it. But I just think, actually, I wish more people in the public eye spoke up for common decency, because we are talking about refugees fleeing pretty horrible stuff. I've met refugees, including refugees, for example, who fled Yemen, a country which is being bombed with British weapons from the planes of our good friends and allies, the Saudi dictatorship. And I've met these people, and it's horrible what they've gone through. It is a horrible, horrible situation. And partly we're complicit in cases like that, with people fleeing terrible violence. So I think it's good people like Gary Lineker speak out. There's not many people speaking out, to be honest. It's not a popular position often, but I think it's necessary. Briganos Mac Giolo Chomjigal, I can't pronounce that name. That noise in the background around 2:18 made me check outside my flat to make sure someone wasn't murdering a cat with fire. That's a horrible thing to say. Honestly, can I just confirm and just clarify that no cats were murdered with fire or any other deadly means in the course of that video? And this is a categorical assurance. If any cat in the vicinity during the recording of any video that I'm part of is attacked with fire, then I will be there to stamp that fire out. And that is the Owen Jones pledge.
I guarantee it.
Thank you, everyone. Great comments as ever. Keep leaving them below the line. And as ever, subscribe if you like, and I'll see you next time.